everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a my high school experience and tips. So I'm going to be going along and sort of sharing my personal experience and story through high school while also kind of giving you some tips along the way and what I personally learned. So I hope this is helpful, and I know it's back to school season for some of you guys, so I hope this is a good video for you guys to learn stuff from. So one thing I do sort of regret in high school is not getting more involved. So my freshman year I was involved in 2 service clubs, and I didn't do much with them just because I personally have to study a lot to get good grades. And so I really focused on a lot of my homework and my studies, and I just had a lot of classes and a lot going on, and I just felt like I didn't really have that much free time. And when I did have free time, I just sort of wanted to relax or hang out with friends or do whatever. And so I sort of lacked in, being involved in even the clubs that I was joined in. So my sophomore year I ended up doing 1 service club, and that helped a lot. Just focusing on one just really helped me get involved in that club a little bit more, even though it wasn't a huge amount of time that I was spending in it. But I feel like you just have to know yourself and know your boundaries with that, because I personally knew that I needed to spend more time studying and doing homework and stuff like that. So I made a personal choice to join 1 club and not do any sports or anything like that, and that really helped my grades and helped me personally. And then throughout my junior and senior year I got more involved in that club, and it was a learning experience for me, but I think that it's great to get involved in your school, but just don't feel overwhelmed. It definitely looks great on a college application or a resume for a job or whatnot, but I also did get a job throughout the year of my senior year, which was this past year. So it looks good to do all different things, so don't get like super discouraged or like nervous if you're not super involved in school activities. If you do sports outside of school, or if you have a job, other things look really good on a job application or college application, so don't worry. Another thing I learned throughout my high school experience was to go to more school events. So my freshman year I went to a few football games. Football was the main sport that people went to in the fall, and really throughout the year not many people went to our basketball games or supported any other sport, which sort of stinks because all the other sports are cool too and they're fun. So I don't know why we didn't go to other sporting events really, but our school was mostly football, even though our football team wasn't all that great. But anyways, so my freshman year I went to a few football games every now and then, and same with my sophomore year. But then my junior and senior year I really started going to a lot more things. I went to a few of the basketball games, I went to almost every single football game, and I personally don't know sports very well at all. I didn't know what was going on in football, I still don't, but it was still fun to be with your school and fun to be with your friends, just get a group of friends together on Friday and get pizza beforehand and maybe do something after. It's really fun, and you can meet new people even, and a lot of times we had themes for the games, and that was a lot of fun too. Another thing I learned throughout high school is to not be so shy. So I tend to be shy in a bigger group of people, even though I've known these people since elementary school. I just sort of keep to myself a little bit more. I talk to a couple people in classroom, and I learned throughout high school that I don't know why I'm being so shy, because some people think I'm so shy, and then once I come out of my shell they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you were so funny or you were so nice or whatever, because I just sort of kept to myself more. And once I learned that I could just talk to people and be nice and just be who I am, it's so much easier, and you can meet more people that way. And with that, I learned my freshman year to not prejudge people. And sometimes it's hard not to. Sometimes in your head you're just sort of thinking things about people, and maybe you thought in elementary school that this person wasn't very nice, or that this person is cocky, or this person's super smart. But I just learned that people change, and even from freshman year to sophomore year, someone can be a totally different person, and you should really give people a chance to show you who they are and show their true colors, because sometimes people change, and sometimes they change for the good, sometimes for the bad, but you should really just be kind to everyone, because sometimes people are acting out and they are having a really tough time, and maybe they're really dealing with something personal in their life and they need someone to just give them a smile or say hi, and you never really know what's going on in a person's life, so you should really just be kind to those people. And to go along with that, also, don't hold grudges. So I changed friend groups throughout high school just because I just felt like the people I was friends with, they didn't really make plans with me sometimes, and they didn't really make the effort back, and I feel that friendship is a two-way street, and I can't just keep making plans with you and making the effort while they aren't making the effort back. So I stopped being friends with a group of girls maybe 8th grade starting into freshman year, and I was sort of just like really sad, obviously, like losing a friend or friends from elementary school. I mean, I wasn't super mad at them, or it wasn't like a huge blowout or anything like that, but there are some hurt feelings, and I was just sort of like upset about it, not necessarily mad or anything, but don't hold grudges. So even though we weren't the best of friends anymore, if we were in class together, or I was in lunch with any of these girls or saw them in the hallway, you know what, just be nice and be fine, because their life is too short to just be mad at someone because you're not friends with them anymore. You just kind of have to get over it and maybe give yourself some time. If you are really upset, maybe you are mad at these people, just give yourself some time and don't take it out on them. Maybe it was a huge blowout with your friend group and you aren't friends with them anymore, but just give yourself that time and don't hold a grudge against them, because that's just gonna go against you in the long run. Another thing I learned is to not take school so seriously. Obviously, I really care about my grades and about my schoolwork and my homework and everything like that, but a lot of times I would just get so stressed out, and especially if I didn't do well on a test or I wasn't doing well in a class, then I would just get really discouraged and down on myself, and I just felt like I wasn't worthy, and I just felt like I wasn't enough, and I just needed to take a breath. And if you're the same way with a class or something like that, just remember, this is high school, this is just a class. Just try your best and maybe just try something different. Maybe the studying habit that you were doing wasn't working. So try maybe studying with someone else, or try flashcards, try studying with a parent or a sister or a sibling or anything. Just try something new, and just remember, it's not the end of the world. It is just a grade. Talk to your teachers and don't fret over everything in high school, because it'll all get done and you need to just relax. And with that, just don't be too hard on yourself. Another thing I learned is to just have confidence in myself. So my freshman year, I've always had confidence, but some of the time, being like the underclassman and then coming into a new school, it's sort of hard. You're like nervous maybe, and you're in a whole different atmosphere with some different people, and some people are maybe not all that encouraging of you. Sometimes I would notice that I just wasn't all that confident with myself. I would look at what I was going to wear for the next day and say, oh, maybe I shouldn't wear this, like someone so-and-so might judge me, or the upperclassmen might think I'm a loser. I don't know, just like overthinking certain situations. So I would just say, have confidence in yourself because you're awesome. Just be yourself. You don't have to put on a fake personality to please other people, because the people who are gonna love you as you are the people you really want in your life. So just have confidence and rock what you wear, rock your personality, just be yourself. Another thing I more noticed in high school is a lot of girls rather than boys tend to hide behind relationships with the confidence, especially. Most of those people who hide behind boys or having a relationship tend to be a little less confident, and I would just give you the advice as not necessarily don't date in high school, because do you. If you want to date, then go ahead and date, but if you don't. But just be mature about it and definitely work on yourself is what I would say. I focused on myself in high school. I also, did a lot of stuff with my friends and family too, but I would just say don't hide behind friends or a boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. I would just say be yourself and focus on yourself too. Another tip I have is to make relationships with teachers. Now that sounds sort of weird, but not necessarily a friendship, but I do definitely recommend, especially if you're struggling with a class, to go ahead and talk to your teacher and try to maybe go in early or stay after school and just be nice to them and really try to get to know them a little bit more, because it definitely helps if you're struggling in a class. They can give you that extra help if you need it. And when you're coming to your junior and senior year, a lot of times you need letters of recommendation for college applications or stuff like that. And if a teacher really likes you, then you're going to be getting an awesome letter of recommendation just by being yourself and doing extra credit and doing your homework and just being a good student really helps. I also recommend getting involved with volunteer work or stuff outside of school. So I sort of touched on this at the beginning of this video with getting involved in clubs and stuff like that. But like I said, you can also get involved outside of school. It doesn't necessarily have to be a school club. So if you do a sport outside of school, or you have a job, or even just volunteer work, not necessarily with a club in your school, it looks really good on college applications, or just to do in general. It feels good to give back to people and do good in the world. So I would definitely recommend volunteering. It just makes you feel like you're making a difference and it feels great. Another thing I learned in high school is to not waste my time on bad friendships. So like I mentioned before, I sort of changed friend groups a lot throughout just middle school and high school, and it wasn't a ton or anything, but what I noticed a lot in my school is that people tend to stick to their groups, and sometimes people can be very cliquey and exclusive. So this was one of the main problems I had with finding friends in high school. So I would definitely recommend to you to not be that person that excludes people. So if someone asks, hey, can I have a ride to the football game tonight, or would you and your friends want to come over my house and hang out, or do you want to go to the mall? Just take those opportunities. Even if you don't think that you would necessarily get along with this person, just at least try and give them a chance, because I know how it feels to be excluded or left out of things, and it really stinks. So I would definitely recommend just being kind to people and including people in your group. If there's a new student to school, definitely try to help them out and talk to them and be friendly, because it's probably scary to be in a different school and different maybe state or setting, and it can be really intimidating even just to make new friends, even if you are not new to the school. So I would definitely just include people and be kind. Another huge tip I have for you guys is to get things done early. Oh my goodness. So a lot of people in high school and even college and middle school, whatever, are procrastinators. I personally cannot do that because it just stresses me out even more to push things off. So if I had a project that was due in 2 weeks, I would get a head start on it right when it was assigned. That is also my personality. I'm a very organized person, but even if you aren't, I would recommend just getting it over with. That way, even homework, if you have homework that's due the next day, I would honestly get home, eat a snack, and get it done right then, just because after that I can do whatever I want. My schedule is pretty much free, unless you have sports or whatever. But it just feels so nice to get it done. It's a weight lifted off your shoulders and you don't have to worry about it. And especially with studying too, I also need a little bit more time to study and get the information in my head, but it's nice to study beforehand. So those are all my tips. Overall, I had a pretty good high school experience. I don't think that it was the best 4 years of my life. So I definitely think that there are better things coming. I am going to college in the fall, so I'm really excited for that. So if you have any high school videos that you would want me to do, then definitely leave a comment down below. Or if you have any questions about high school, I can answer it. I mean, obviously everyone's high school is different, but I had a pretty good 4 years at high school. There were definitely some rough patches, you know, like any situation though, there's always going to be some really fun parts and some really hard parts and some stressful things going on. But definitely be excited if you're going to be a freshman. Be excited because there are so many fun things that you get to do and get involved with and meet new people and a new school. So definitely be excited about that. For the most part, those are all my tips, and I shared a little bit of my high school experience, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!